Oh guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended. And this is a video that I want to say that I first do not want to make. I don't enjoy making videos like this, but I feel like it's got to be said. First off, right off the bat, Ark is having major problems. Now, for those of you that agree or don't agree, again, I love this game. Before we even start this video, it's probably one of my favorite games of all time, if not my favorite. I will continue to play this game, but there are some really big problems that need to be addressed before this game continues, really, honestly. Because graphical issues are holding this game back, major bugs, cheaters, lack of content in general, one map, and compared to, we'll talk about that in a second. Lack of events with forethought in general, player counts have almost gone to zero. Official server counts are basically non-existent anymore, and then lack of support for anything other than Nitrado servers is almost laughable. So, anyways, let me talk to you why it's got big problems. But before we start that, remember, I love this game. I'm still going to play. I hope people still play, but really, this is kind of like a congregation, if you want to think of it, of all the things that are having major problems in Ark right now. So, first off, you can even see it even though I'm running a 3090 Ti. When you look at some of the more advanced settings or when you have player fog and stuff on, graphical issues are crazy for people in Ark right now. And if I start going high speed, even my 3090 Ti cannot keep up with a lot of the stuff that's going on inside of this game, which is kind of crazy because that's a very expensive graphics card. Now, no, it is not the 40 series, but I know people that have 4070s, 4080s, 4090s that are still struggling heavily with this game, which is almost funny because it seems like those graphics cards should be more capable of running it. However, the game doesn't seem optimized properly, so it's not running it as it should be. So that's a big problem, and a lot of people are struggling. So if you don't have a high-end graphics card, people on consoles and people with, well, I mean, that don't have $1,500 to spend on a graphics card have to play this game on low settings, which is crazy to me. That shouldn't be a thing. Now, that's one thing, right? That, yeah, obviously it needs to be addressed. It still looks pretty if you do have access to those. You've got some cool features and stuff like that. But there are some really crazy bugs that have happened over the last, well, since it's been released, in all honesty. I know that people are experiencing major cheating issues and all that kind of stuff, but some of the bugs that people are running into, sometimes, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but when you actually drop into water and stuff like that, it crashes your game for some people. Some people can't handle their computers themselves can't handle the actual water. Some of the bugs include, in my opinion, it's a bug when you can change the settings so much that it's just a black and white game with grayscale, and that's it. That's crazy to me that that's a thing. Other bugs that I've heard about so far is people have been, again, this is more of a cheat, but using the infinite speed glitch. That's a big problem. Bugs including like opening your inventory or hitting console or any of those things and instantly crashing. And there's just a lot of bugs that are present. Now, don't get me wrong. They are fixing a lot of the game killing bugs pretty quickly. But it is something that's like, this game has been in the works for years. Ark Survival Ascended over Ark Survival Evolved. And all of a sudden it's just got a massive number of bugs. That's a question mark for me. Like, I feel like that's something that could have been play tested, but they almost had to push the release of it for all kinds of money related reasons, or whatever you want to say. People blame everyone. People blame Snail. People blame Nitrado. People blame devs. People blame this. People blame that. But realistically speaking, it's kind of an everyone that's involved's fault, because these are easy things to fix that a lot of games that recently released, like Palworld's doing fantastic. They're fixing things like almost instantly. You got Nightingale that just released. You've got all kinds of games that are releasing that have, I'm not going to say a lack of big problems, but they're showing work in the right direction, whereas Ark almost feels like it's not really, in my opinion. Now, so there's the bugs, right? So bugs are usually abused by cheaters. Now, the cheaters in Ark right now, I've heard on official servers, it's almost funny. Now, yes, this was a quick issue on day one, but day one people had access to GCM, which, if you don't know what that means, that's give creative mode, which gives you unlimited everything. So they literally had to reset the servers back to square one after release because people had access to GCM. Now, not only that was a big one. I mean, obviously that's a big one. You've got the insane duping right now is absolutely bonkers. People are duping left and right, which basically means that they're taking items and making an exact copy of them using things like obelisks and transfer systems and stuff like that. And Yeah, that's going crazy right now. Speed issues. You can see that my character is normal speed, but on official servers, I've heard that people are basically hitting Mach 25 because they've got super speed glitches that are going on. There's all kinds of crazy stuff that is being unleashed on official servers right now. The number of cheaters are almost laughable. I've heard it's not even worth trying to play on official right now just due to the constant toxicity of that cheating, and it's almost like an accepted behavior that that's a thing. Now, I'm going to hop off of this this part right now, but you can see that this is the big problem. The lack of generic content is crazy. If I want to create a game, the only option I have right now is the island. This game has been out for 7.5 years. Yes, I understand that they have to change things around and they have to modify each of the maps, but they needed to do some more forethought than, hey, the only map you can access for the first 3 months is the island. The island is probably everyone's least favorite map. It's the smallest map. It's got the least content. And overall, it's probably the most boring one because there's nothing special. There's no orbital supply drops. The bosses are very generic. And in general, the gameplay is kind of boring because it's also limited. Like, you don't have access to element, really. You don't have access to too much metal unless you know what you're doing or you're an alpha tribe. And in general, the island is not the best map. So the lack of overall content, yes, you do have some awesome things like Svartalfheim, but that's a mod. That's not the official content of the game. The lack of content is causing major problems right now. So much so that people aren't playing the game. That's just the honest fact of the matter. They brought out Survival of the Fittest with the hope that people can actually get over and play, right? Like, there's 9 people on one server, maybe 4, 3, 2, 1, and they've got what, 20 servers, 30, 40, 50, 60 servers, and there's only 4 of them that even have players in them. That's crazy to me, right? So a lot of these games, like, this is just me doing real time, by the way. I'm sure there are more valuable times where people are more online, but this is crazy. The lack of content is crazy. Mods, yes, mod makers are doing a lot of stuff, but let's not even get into the premium concept, right? Because people don't really want to pay for this. Now, I think that people should be paid for their efforts and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is why would someone pay $10 for a mod? Now, by the way, this guy's awesome. I think this is an amazing mod that I will end up buying. But why would I pay for that when the game itself is filled with bugs, cheaters, lack of content in general? And like, that's the only like perk, is to have to pay additional money to go to these other mods. And that's your selling point. You should have a well-rounded game, and then mods should be on top of that. That's personal opinion, right? I think those mod creators should be paid, so don't get that wrong. But the game itself needs fixing before you can really justify that behavior. Now, that's that, right? So let's not, I'm just going to open up something, and I want you to see this because this is crazy. So this is the current player count for Ark. So here is Steam third parts, right? Here's the number 1. If you scroll down this list, here's Pal World still after like a month of being out, a little over. You scroll down, Ark Survival Evolved is in the 40s currently. 27,000 max, 25 overall, right? In order to get to Ark Survival Ascended, a newer game with official server support, over the weekend, we had a max player count of 18K. And then a 16K current. That's crazy. Crazy. There are more people playing Sid Meier's Civilization, Age of Empires 2, Witcher 3, which released in 2015. I think it's actually older. Yeah, Witcher 3, I think it's older than Ark. Why is it not showing me? Not going to show me, but whatever. I don't know why it's not going to show me, but it is. Yeah, so the servers, no one's playing anymore. People just don't want to play. Ark used to sit in the 40s, 50s, 60,000s, Ark Survival Evolved, and when it first released, Ark Survival Ascended was averaging right around 40,000 players, but it's slowly declined consistently to the point where it's half of the player count of Ark Survival Evolved. That's a problem. When you release a new game, it's supposed to be more popular than your old game. And I guess the big reason is your official support and things along those lines just aren't working. People aren't wanting to play. And I'll show you what I mean by that, because some people are like, well, official servers are still really popular. They're not. Look at this. So mine is like the top 20, right? So let's just click. So here is the top 20, right? Usually speaking, you've got 20-ish servers with a good player count, and then you've just got a barren ghost town. I can scroll halfway through your servers and not get more than 15 active people online. That's crazy. And their ping, look at this, 279, 272, 257, 200. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. You shouldn't have to ever worry about something like that. And to me, that's just crazy. Now, unofficial, the max player count on unofficial servers right now, 4. It's crazy. Now, if I turn off password protected, 5. It's like, that's almost shocking, right? You shouldn't ever have to worry about that being a thing. That's crazy. Non-dedicated, 3. No one is playing it right now. That's just, to me, that's wild, right? So lack of player content, lack of fix for bugs, events that don't have much forethought. They released this Love Evolved event, right? And again, cool event, but when they actually released it, it's got 2x. 2x is not that much better. It's actually worse than you get on the boost on the weekends. It was a 3x boost on the weekends, and then into the week it was 2x for the Love Evolved event, which in the past has been up to like 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 times, which is crazy. Like, there's no thought. There's got to be a reason for people to want to come play, and there's just not. And I think that it's possible, and in the future I think it'll be a thing. But right now, Ark has major problems. I will continue to play. I'm still going to play this game, and I think I'm hopeful that some of these things are going to be fixed and people are going to come back to Ark. But why would they at this moment? Why? Like, why would you come back to Ark at this moment in time? There's no reason to. And I don't blame people. I'm going to play the crap out of it because I love this game. I'm going to play mods. I'm going to play the premium mods. I'm going to play all these things. I'm going to play the maps as they get released. And it's crazy to me. But anyways, I don't have a true fix for it. The true fix is sitting down as a team, as dev team, and the releasers of the game and saying, what do we need to start with our priorities to fix this game, right? And maybe they don't. Maybe they're focusing on Ark 2 instead of actually focusing on this one, and that's fine. Like, just come out and say that. But there's also a complete and total radio silence across the board on what they want to fix and what's going on. It's crazy to me. I don't know what their plan is. I can't explain it because I don't know. So biggest thing, make an announcement. Tell your players what's going on. That's my hope, right? But anyways, if you have any ideas, put them in the comments below. I'll try and respond to the best of my ability. And yeah, hopefully this video helps you out. And other than that, teach.